Hey, welcome back. Episode 3 here. We're going to try to get into some of the guest features in Microsoft Teams. So hold on to your hats and let's just get going. Welcome to episode 3. My name is Chris Adams with CCA Technology. Today we're going to talk about how to get guests into Microsoft Teams for Office 365. So if that's of interest to you, hang out here and we'll get right to it. Here we are in Microsoft Teams. If you haven't gotten this far yet, you're too far in this video series. Go back to number 1 and I'll walk you through how to install and get logged into Microsoft Teams. So let's just jump right into it. Our goal for today is to get a guest user or a few guest users into a Teams chat video phone call environment here. And we're going to start by adding a couple of guests. We're going to add a new team and show you how that all works. At the end of the video, I'll also go through what it looks like on the client side, what you can expect your end users to have to go through in order to be part of this as well. And it's actually a little bit more complicated than I thought it might be. So I'll also link in the video here a direct link to the timestamp of where that part of the video will start. And you can send your end users there if you want and have them click right on that to get some insight on how they have to access this if you would want to do that. So first things first, there's a few quirks. From the chat area here, you would think that in the add people area that you could just add a guest right here. And that's true if the guest has been added in there before. So I added this guest, my Gmail account a while ago, and it lets me put that in there and no problem, shows up, it's a guest and I can add that user. But if I try to add a new guest in here, it will not let me do that. So if I put in another one of our Google accounts, if I could spell, it will not let me add that account here no matter what I do. So let's work on how to add new accounts. So obviously right here is not the area. So let's go over to the Teams area on the left side here. And inside of here you can add external users to a team that already exists, or in this case I imagine you're going to be more likely creating a new team. So we'll kind of walk through that today. Also, as a side note, guest user and external user access to Microsoft Teams is not a default feature inside of Microsoft Teams. So if it's not working for you, please send our support or a support desk phone call a ring and we can get that enabled for you. I have that installed and enabled for this tenant of Office 365, so this should work here. So here we go. We're going to create a team. And it gives you a few options here. You can start from scratch, which is probably more likely to be the case, or you can create a team from something that already exists. This might be helpful if you have a all staff list that you're just wanting to add a couple of external users to. You could start from that team and then build the external users on top of that. For this demo, we're going to just build from scratch. And I want this to be public so that if anyone else in my office wants to join this group, they can do that without having to get an invite from me. If that's not the case, you can choose private here, and it would only allow users to come in when they have a link or an invite from you. So we're going to go public, and I'm going to give this, let's say, CCA external advice channel. That was right the first time, wasn't it? Channel. Create. Nice work, we have a new channel. Something I've noticed with Office 365 is, and it's kind of hit or miss, at some points I can add new users that are external users here right away as part of the wizard, and sometimes it doesn't let me. So right now it's actually not letting me, unless it's going to work this time, it's not letting me add an external user here. So I'll just have to skip through this step completely and add it later. But I do want to add an internal person, so we'll do that. We'll add Noah here. I want Noah to be part of this team, and I'm looking for Noah to be actually an administrator, so I want him to be an owner on this to help me moderate the group and whatever is happening there. So we'll get that done. So now we're done. We've added a group. We've got Noah in there as a team leader, and we're going to add more people. Now I want to add external people, so let's go ahead and add that Gumi and Road account that I've been trying to add. And now you can see that I've closed out of that wizard and gone back in to add users on the main page there. It does now let me add this email as a guest. And I'm going to add a few of the other ones that I've already had in here as guests. And what else do I want to add? Let's see, I've got that one in there. And these are all just going to be guest user accounts in the group. A few of them have been in there before, so you can see that they are already listed as a guest. It'll move them all to that way, and then there you have it. So that's as easy as it is to add the external users to your group, and they'll all get email notifications and invitations to let them know that they've been part of this group, and they can kind of go from there. So this is the point at which I want to talk to you guys about what it looks like for the end user. What email do they get? What is the process for them if they have an Office 365 account? If they don't, what does that all look like? And it's a little bit more complicated than I thought it might be. I thought it would be a guest link that you click through and it just opens up and all's well. That's not really how it works. It is a little bit more complicated than that. And especially if they don't have an Office 365 account, it's a little bit of a run through to create a new account and all that sort of thing. So let's just go ahead and do it. I'll walk you through it. Here's the email that an external user would get, and it's fairly straightforward. It just is asking them to open Microsoft Teams. It tells them where it came from and what company they're looking to. So I would probably put as much information in here when you're naming these as you can. The email is sort of generic from Microsoft. I would probably preface it or send them another email in advance letting them know, I'm adding you to this team and you should get an email from Microsoft. Everyone's out there being cautious more with their email and things nowadays, which is good. So it will likely end up as a question mark if there's not some more information. So definitely do that. But for them, once they know that it's a safe email, all they should have to do is click Open Microsoft Teams. They're logged in. They can use Web App instead, and it should take them right into the Microsoft Teams organization, and it will give them access to whatever you want it to. Keep in mind here, this does not give them access to anything else in Office 365. It does not give them access to email or anything else, even inside of your Microsoft Teams organization. It's really just limited to that one group. Keep in mind, though, that whatever is posted in that group historically will be shared with that guest user as well. So I would keep that to relevant information that you would expect them to want and to be able to see. Something else to note, if you look on the left here, the view that the guest users see when they log into Microsoft Teams is a lot more limited than what you would see as the administrator here with files, calls, calendar, and even a radio button here with more options. So the guest users are locked down a little bit on what they can initiate, but as the administrator, I can call or chat video with a video chat or whatever to any of the guests that I invite. They just can't initiate new phone calls and things like that. They can obviously start a new conversation. Hey, can you call me? Question mark. And you could, as the administrator here, see this, hover over their name, and do a video call or a phone call, audio call with them. So the administrator, and I, again, in Noah's case here would be an administrator, could initiate those calls to the guest users. They just couldn't initiate a call directly to you or video for that matter. So keep that in mind if you're hoping this to be collaborative. The guests would not be able to collaborate with each other either, short of having conversations inside of that chat, unless you had built a group or a meeting inside of Teams. Now let's go check out what it looks like if you don't have an Office 365 account. You can see the initial email looks a lot the same. It doesn't look any different if you do or don't have Office 365. And the process from here, though, is going to be completely different. We're still going to click this link, opening Microsoft Teams, but the initial email that not the initial email, but the initial website that takes us to will actually walk us through setting up an Office 365 account rather than just taking us right into Microsoft Teams. So you can see now Microsoft is trying to look up your account. It finds no email or no account with this email address, so it's going to walk you through now creating a new one. Create a password. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now you get an opportunity to pick a new password for your Microsoft 365 account. And this is free for whatever guest you send into, so don't worry, there's no charge. They're not going to put you on the Office 365 plan or anything like that when you sign up for this. We're going to go back to our email now because there's a verification code. We're going to go in there, check out that verification code, 4069. And no, I would not like more information and tips. Now one of these lovely things pop up, which I always fail to actually get correctly. And that should be the last step in this puzzle here. Oh, maybe not. You'll notice that we now see the permissions review. You probably will see this as well, even if you have Office 365. It will just let you know that the organization you're giving access to in your guest portal will have access to see your sign-in status and your name, email, address, and photo. If that's okay with you, you can accept, and it will take you into the Microsoft Teams area. I would not like to stay signed in. So now you can see that it's going to load this page, and we can log right in here with the Microsoft Teams access. And you should see some of that chat history that was in there from the other conversation as well. Bear with Office 365 as well. It might be a little slower than normal. 12 million people signed up since Monday that have never been in Office 365 before, so their systems are keeping up and they're trying pretty hard to reallocate resources here. So things might just be a little bit slower in the next week or two here. So there it is. We're logged in as a guest. We can see the exact same thing as the other guests could see, and we can chat. Again, the administrator would be the only one that could initiate a phone call or a meeting, and otherwise it would just be all chat-based activity. You could still use emojis and thumbs up and things like that. So, well, there you have it, guys. That's how you get your guests into the Office 365 portal. Hopefully this is helpful, as a lot of us are moving to a work-from-home environment, and it will likely allow us to be a lot more collaborative in these next couple weeks here and just really stay on top of our work. So hope you guys are out there staying safe, and thanks for watching this video again. Hope to see you in the next one. Make sure also to like, comment, and subscribe. If there's anything you guys think would be helpful for us to shoot for you or your team, let us know. We're definitely taking those very seriously and trying to prioritize the needs of our customers. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.